All right, hi. So if you are just joining us, my name is Amy Miller. I am the magnet lead teacher at Rampello, K-8 in downtown Tampa. And I have been in education for 14 years and 12 of them have been at Rampello. So I have taught elementary, I've taught middle school, I've taught high school, and I've been in my current role for 4 years now at Rampello. I love my job and I love my school, so I'm super excited to share it with you. On here is Miss Shelby Roxanne Fetty, and she is our elementary assistant principal and a huge advocate for our kids and our school as well. So she will be answering your questions in the chat, and I will be kind of rolling through our presentation. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Our start. So people don't even realize where our school is sometimes unless they're looking for a school. In 1997, San Rampello Downtown Partnership School, a school for the cultural arts and humanities, was founded to bring working parents and their children closer together and to immerse students in the downtown Tampa community. So what's really cool is when we're not during COVID times and we're allowed to have families on our campuses, we have parents that live or work near our school and they can come and have lunch with their kids. And we also get a ton of response when it comes to parent involvement and field trips, chaperones, and whatnot, because a lot of people work in downtown and can just make it easily over to our campus. Then fast forward to 2020, and we find ourselves as being one of the most desirable schools in the area for people that live close to or work in downtown. And we just love it. We love where our school is. We love our family community, and we hope that you're thinking about joining our crew. Here are some of the points of pride. And if you are here, you've probably done some research on Rampello and you know that it's a wonderful place and you're just hopefully looking for a little bit more information. We are going on what would have been our 14th year as an A-rated school. So ratings got a little bit funky when it came to things going on with COVID-19, but we were assuming that we were going to be an A again. We are a high achieving school and we work really hard to maintain a high standard of education for our students. We are also an AVID National Demonstration School, which is a newer designation for us. We just earned that last year, and it's something that we had been working towards for 6 or 7 years. And basically, this is our way of pushing kids to the next level. So it is a set of best practices that our teachers are trained in and our students learn. And AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. So this has to do with strategies. The backbone of AVID is WICOR, which stands for Writing, Inquiry, Collaboration, Organization, and Reading. So our teachers are taught strategies in all of those areas, and then they implement those strategies into the curriculum that they teach. Now remember, all Hillsborough County public schools teach to the same standards. So it just kind of depends on the delivery. So some schools might have an IB program, or some schools might have a special class that another school does not have, but everybody has the same standards. Our teachers are fabulous, and they teach in a way that's really exciting for students to learn, using a lot of collaboration. We have organizational strategies that are used throughout our school, and our students are incentivized through positive behavior systems. We pride ourselves in our unique downtown location. Our students get to experience what it's like to be in downtown Tampa. When it's not COVID-19 times, they get to go on field trips to the Florida Aquarium, to the Tampa Theater and watch a performance. They might get to go to Amalie Arena, where there's actually a hydroponic farm. Our second graders got to find that out last year, which is pretty cool. Our kindergartners get to go to the fire station. So our kids, if you are at our school from K to 8, they really get to experience all that's happening in downtown Tampa, which is pretty awesome. We also have very strong music and art programs. We have a couple of things that might be a little bit unique compared to other schools. We have a world drumming group. We have a choir for elementary students. We have a junior show choir, which is actually instructed by our teacher, that's our middle school show choir teacher, and some of her dancers that choose to help out with the junior show choir. And then as far as art goes, we have 2D and 3D art. We also have various levels of band, and you'll get to hear from our highest band a little bit later in the presentation. These are some things to consider if you're thinking about joining our crew, and it's not to scare you off, it's just so you know. We are a uniform school, so all of our students wear red or black tops and with black or khaki bottoms. And siblings are not guaranteed a seat at the same school during the lottery process. So although say you have multiple kids and you apply for Rampello and a couple of other schools, you might actually get offers at different schools. The same thing goes for if you have a student at Rampello and then you apply for your next child to get in. We work really hard to fight for our siblings to get in, but it's just not a guarantee. So it is a lottery, a true choice lottery. And then this is a big one for some families. So we do not have buses. So no bus in Hillsborough County Public Schools fills up with kids and drops them off at our doors. So all of our families are choiced in through the magnet lottery, and they all choose to drop off their child and pick up their child every day. With that being said, we do have before school host. So from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. are on our campus host workers, watch the children. And then at 7:30 a.m., our faculty takes over. And then school starts, students start learning at 8 a.m. And the school day runs until 1:50 p.m. on Mondays and 2:50 on Tuesdays through Fridays. Then we do have after school hosts. So some students stay on our campus as late as 6 p.m. And we also have a few other daycare options where there's some people that bring vans and buses and whatnot and come and pick up kids and take them to karate or various parks around the area. But I did want you guys to know that we don't have buses because I know that sometimes that doesn't work for all families. So primarily most of our families live nearby or work in downtown. And so they just kind of drop off their child, go to work, and then come back and scoop them up. And if you're jumping in, as any questions pop up, feel free to ask them in the chat. If you really just came to ask like one specific question, feel free to kind of jump in and out if I'm not talking your language. These are some considerations for K-8 schools. And it's probably the most asked question I get. I do a lot of tours, and kindergarten parents always want to know if their kindergarten babies are going to get run over by the big 8th graders on our campus. And the answer is no. So our elementary students are not unsupervised in the hallways at random passing periods with middle school kids. And you will see in some pictures, but the way that our building works is that there's one side and the bottom floor is kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. And then the second floor is half of 5th grade, 3rd grade, and 4th grade. And then the other side of our building is the other half of 5th grade and 6th grade on the 2nd floor. And the 3rd floor is primarily 7th and 8th grade. So kids do cross over sides of the building if they're going to the media center or the art room, but they're always being escorted. The elementary kids are always being escorted by a teacher. So they're not getting run over by 8th graders. And I giggle because I think on TV and maybe when you were in middle school or who knows what, but passing periods almost look like scary in middle school. And at Rampello, it is not. Our balconies are open and our hallways are open, and you can see light and it's bright and it's not a scary place to be. So our kiddos are super safe. And during the little video that we'll show, you will see our student resource officer. He is at our school full time. So we do have a full-time student resource officer that's always walking around, checking gates and helping at dismissal and arrival and at lunches and such. During breakfast and dismissal, the grades are separated, and you will see some pictures. You'll see a picture of our cafeteria. You'll see a picture of our media center to kind of give you an idea of what it's like. Oops. And then I always get the question about sports. So, the parents come along and they're like, ooh, so when can my kids start playing sports? Well, the answer is simple, and it's the same for all Hillsborough County Public Schools, middle school. So that's when the sports start. So we do have a cross-country club that starts at 3rd grade, but the sports are the same for all Hillsborough County Public Schools. And there's a team for boys and a team for girls. So there's volleyball, basketball, soccer, track, and I'm missing one, flag football for boys and for girls. So it's the same sports. Okay, when I turn this next little slide, this is going to start to rotate. So start to take a look if you're looking at a certain grade level for your child entering. But basically, our magnet theme is cultural arts and humanities, and that is very broad. So what we've done is kind of narrow down the focus in each grade level to have a little theme within the theme, so to speak. So you've seen 3rd grade Museum of Fine Arts. When we are not in coronavirus times, our 3rd graders go to the Fine Arts Museum that's in Tampa, in downtown Tampa. Our 5th graders have been to the Space Exploration Center. Our 6th graders learn about ancient civilizations through their class and just kind of dig a little bit deeper into that. And it'll loop back around our kindergartners. Their theme has to do with the community around them. And an example is they would go to the fire station to kind of experience their theme. But tonight is actually a magnet event that we're doing for our families. And we have a couple of teachers that went to the fire station and are doing a virtual tour for their kids. So things are a little bit different now, but primarily if your student is in our school from kindergarten through 8th grade, they really get to experience the arts and sciences in Tampa's downtown. This video is going to start playing, so make sure to kind of pay attention. You'll see some pictures around our school. It's our administrative team. There's our playground. We've got these beautiful murals everywhere. We've got multiple computer labs, including some mobile laptop carts. Their student incentive room. You can see how bright and beautiful our classrooms are. We do have a PTSA, and we have an athletic boosters and a band boosters. So if you were starting to fall asleep, hopefully that music and the shaking of the screen helped you wake up a little bit. Feel free to be dropping those questions into the chat. And if you just joined us, I'll be looping back around to the beginning of the presentation in case you missed anything. On this next slide, this is the band that I was talking to you about. It is a performance that our wind ensemble put on, and they put together to be able to share what they've been doing in class with their families for Mega Night, which is one of our big events that we host twice a year. This year it's virtual. So actually tonight, while I'm on with you guys, our families are being entertained and doing activities with their kiddos on different Zooms with our teachers. So Miss MG is our band director and our show choir director, and this is her wind ensemble. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of it for you. And this is a perfect time to be dropping questions into the chat for Miss Fetty to answer. Something for you to notice, because it's kind of new to us and we're super thankful, is the roof that they're playing under. So it's kind of like a tarpy type roof that's right in the center of our campus, and it overlooks our Rampello Park. And it's just made an extra nice shady space for our PE students and our kids that are at recess, and a place for them to enjoy. If you look over to where you see actually Miss Fetty walking over there on the right-hand side, that is our elementary side of the building. And then if you go over towards the left where you see some little trees and the overhang, that is the middle school side of the building. Elementary PE happens underneath that area so that it's in the shade, and middle school PE happens on the other side under the shade, or sometimes at a park nearby, or in this big shaded area under the roof. Aren't they cute? So those are our 8th graders, and that's our band director. Oh, I didn't even realize they bowed last time. super professional. And then their show choir is just as awesome. So you will now see our faculty Bitmoji staff picture. We weren't able to all get together to take a picture this year, so we had the teachers put together their Bitmojis. Some questions that I get that I don't know if they've been in the chat, but I get them often, so I wanted to share the answers with you. We are pretty small, I feel like, compared to some other maybe traditional public middle schools and elementary schools. So we usually have somewhere around 750 students from K to 8, where our middle school, we're aiming to have around 350 students from 6 to 8, where some traditional public middle schools might have that many students just in 6th grade. So we might feel a little bit smaller than some other places, but we are always looking to add more members to our crew. So please feel free to reach out to me. I know Miss Betty has been answering questions in the chat, and some people are jumping in and out, and you're visiting multiple schools, but sometimes you don't know what to ask until another school answers a question, and then you're like, oh man, that Amy over at Rampello didn't answer that question. So feel free to reach out to me. My email address is there, amyr.miller@schc.k12.fl.us, and that is the best way to reach me. And I usually respond to an email that day, if not within 24 hours during my working hours. So I would love to be able to welcome you to our crew. You will see both of myself and Miss Betty if you join us. And if you end up with wanting to see more, I do virtual tours every Wednesday at 9 a.m. and you can go to our website in order to sign up, but you would have to sit through this presentation again. So this part's the same, but then what I do is I put my cell phone on my Zoom and I actually walk people through the campus. Since we're not having visitors on our campus, then you can actually see the classrooms in action. But hopefully you were able to get a little bit of the vibe, because I wish I could just have you guys there with me. With us, because it's hard to get it across in pictures, but I tried. You can also go follow us on Facebook, and you can scroll back and see tons of pictures from years past and whatnot in order to kind of see what it looks like on our campus and see more of our kiddos. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy other presentations, and then reach out if you have any questions. Miss Betty, was there anything I needed to address?
Nope, I took care of it.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I'm gonna stop recording. Thanks again.